Hey, welcome to Under Contract Live. We come to you every Wednesday live at 3 o'clock to help connect the dots in real estate. We do that by having amazing guests. And today, I'm Dave Cribbs, and this is my special guest co-host. She's no stranger to me, but it's Lisa Copeland.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Great. You know, Lisa, obviously my audience knows that I typically broadcast in studio out of Tampa.
Right.
But I had a fortunate trip.
Yes.
And was able to come here to Austin, and why don't you kind of share with the audience kind of what happened from there?
Well, so David's a great friend of mine, so not only is he a guru in the real estate business, but he also happens to co-host a really big show called Auto Dealer Live. And I've been lucky to be a guest and on the cover of your magazine and all kinds of stuff over the last 7 years. So David and I have been great friends. We see each other at big conferences. And so not only, you're an automotive guru, but you're a real estate guru. I think you're just the king of entertainment when it comes to automotive and real estate. So when I saw he was in Austin, I said, oh, you're in Texas, you're in my country, so we must connect. And so last night we got together and I talked you into doing a show here today.
Yeah, and it's great because we're right here in Georgetown, Texas. It's just outside of downtown Austin. It was about 30 minutes from downtown Austin. An amazing place. We're kind of in the historic part of downtown, and we are live from Mesquite Creek Outfitters. Mesquite Creek Outfitters. And if you ever have the opportunity and you're in the Austin area, you've got to come here to Georgetown. But for those of you, because our broadcast airs right here in Austin, a lot of the Austin real estate Facebook groups are watching, tuning in, listening to our show every week, every Wednesday. So it's a great opportunity to come over here if you haven't already and discover it, because it's realtor friendly. We were talking to the owner, Cody, just a little bit earlier, a good friend of yours.
Yes.
And he was telling us a little bit about the program that they have here for membership. And this place is kind of almost turned into a networking type of place. It's kind of cool.
You know what I love about Cody and what I love about realtors is that it's the entrepreneurial spirit. So Cody's other day job is that Cody's a jet broker. So Cody sells jets to the rich and famous, and the not so famous. You got to be rich to have a jet, though. And then he decided to open up.
No jet
either. We need a jet. But then he decided to open up with a partner, open up this place, and because it's just that entrepreneurial spirit, which is what I love about the real estate business, right? Realtors are entrepreneurs. No guts, no glory. And the great thing about the real estate business is that there is no cap on your income. I mean, you can be as great as you want to be, or you can do as little as you want to do.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity, and you're right. You have to kind of there's no question. I mean, realtors know this, that you have to be an entrepreneur if you really want to move forward in real estate. But what an amazing opportunity. I mean, and Lisa, before I go further, I just want to say, because I didn't get a chance to really properly intro you, but you do such amazing things. The first time I met Lisa, and I met her through our show Auto Dealer Live, but the reason that we reached out to Lisa and that we met Lisa a few years back is because she was running and operating the #1 Fiat store in the entire country right here out of Austin, Texas. So of course she had our attention, right? But she didn't just have our attention. She had the attention of media. You're working on a new network TV show here soon, and we're not gonna get into all the details because it has to be on the down low a little bit. But
the
it's
whole
really
world knows, but that's okay. History Station, Toronto, Canada.
Coming out on the History Channel, right?
Yes.
In Toronto, Canada. That is going to be so cool.
Filming in Toronto.
Can we? Do we have permission to say who else would be on it too, or no?
No.
We want to keep that on the down low.
We have to keep it on the down low. I'm the only one signed so far. But,
here's what I can confirm.
Famous people on the show.
Yeah, and what I can confirm for you is that I'm not a part of it. I'm not on the show, so I don't know.
But you know what? You're going to be a guest. I mean, we're going to have to take off his real estate hat to bring him onto our automotive show in Canada. But yeah, you'll absolutely be a guest.
That's so cool. And as long as we've known each other, the one thing that I found out yesterday that I didn't know, and foolish me, but when I got into the real estate business and when we created this show Under Contract Live, I knew right then that Lisa Copeland was going to be a guest on the show at some point. What I did not know, and I wanted you to be on the show because of your entrepreneurism, your salesmanship, the fact that the accomplishments that you've had, and really today's show is about inspiring you as realtors, and we're going to hear from a couple of rock stars here in just a moment after our break. But But what I learned is that you were in the mortgage business forever too.
I was.
Yeah, I'll put a big plug out there. So 18 years ago, I founded Austin Mortgage Associates. So if you go to RoundRockMortgage.com, GeorgetownMortgage.com, PflugervilleMortgage.com,
Come on.
LakeTravisMortgage.com, CedarParkMortgage.com, and LeanderMortgage.com. Yes, those are all mine. We own those. 18
More
years.
.coms than I have.
Well, you know, funny story. I literally drank a bottle of wine one night, sitting at my computer on my AOL dial-up. I'm like, what are these domain names? Oh my God, I'm going to buy every city. And we did, and we still own them, and they drive into our website today. And so it's been a fun ride. I stepped away from the mortgage business about 12 years ago, but it was a great ride. I'm an entrepreneur,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and that's what I love to do. But my husband still runs the company today, and it's crazy successful. And we've got the best domain names in the country. So
Awesome. So great connection here. If you're in Austin, again, the show airs in Austin and in other parts of Texas here. Make sure you reach out and connect with Lisa Copeland. You'll find her anywhere on social media, and also LisaCopeland.com, right?
Yes.
Speaking of the .coms. But we're going to be right back. We've got some amazing rock star real estate agents that we're going to talk to. We're going to find out what's going on with them, what they've been able to accomplish in hopes of inspiring us all as we move forward to grow our business. You're watching Under Contract Live. Thanks for tuning in to Under Contract Live. We'll see you next week in our brand new studio. #boom.
Thank you, my good.
Hey, welcome back to Under Contract Live. And Lisa, you have a special guest to introduce.
I do. It's my good friend. We met in 2002.
2002?
Yes,
Yes.
Renee Ward, and she is a real estate broker in Austin, Texas. Crazy successful, has 8 agents that work for you.
Yes.
But backstory, I met Renee in 2002. She had just come out of the high-tech industry. She was an executive with Dell, IBM,
Toshiba. A little startup that didn't start up.
Yeah, but anyways, she had this amazing executive background, and I was introduced to her, if you remember this, by Georgetown Title Company, where our office is still officing 18 years later. And so we were introduced, and you and I did some business together, but I thought, well, how does this fabulous woman, who you were so accomplished, executive in the high-tech industry, like, why did you want to get into real estate? I was so fascinated by your story. So I'm going to let you tell everybody your story about how you went from corporate high-tech to become an entrepreneur rock star that you are today.
Well, thank you.
You wouldn't be here if you weren't a rock star.
Oh, thanks. Well, honestly, I started with IBM for 18 years, and it really stands for I've been moved. And so I had bought and sold houses so many times. Left there to go to California to work for Toshiba, left there to come here to work for Dell, left Dell to go to a startup, and I bought houses every time. So I've had houses in like 15 different states. And so when I had to make a decision when the startup didn't start up, my next job was in San Jose, California. When you go to San Jose, California, look at the cost of living versus Texas. You're like, dear God, there must be something I can do and still live here in Texas. And so you do your pros and cons list, what you like, what you don't like, what you can do, what's legal, what you can make money at.
What's legal? You guys heard that, right?
And so I decided real estate was for me. I bought my first house when I was 22, so I kind of knew that process. But you still don't know what it takes to be a realtor. So you kind of go online, figure out what it takes to take your classes, and honestly, the bar is kind of low. You say, that's it? That's all you have to do to become a realtor? And I did it. And so I started in January. I finished like in February, March. Started out with a small realtor office, Debbie Jean Johnson, realtors here in
Yes, oh my
Alabama.
gosh, yes.
And I was Rookie of the Year for the county for the first year. And I probably was the most surprised person of being the Rookie of the Year. But I worked really hard. I knew what it took. And it's marketing. You know, I was marketing in high tech, and it's just marketing in real estate.
That's really what I was going to ask, because, you know, I think oftentimes realtors, unless they have a real strong mentor or broker that's really pouring into them, I mean, they're kind of on their own. And so I was going to ask, you know, looking back when you first got started, and I didn't know that you were Rookie of the Year, but knowing that now, like, what do you think was, you mentioned marketing, is there anything more specific? Because, like, I know realtors that are out there that some of them just, you know, you don't know what to do. Like, what's my next thing? I mean, there's the things that the broker are going to tell you to do and whatnot, but when you get up each morning, you know, you kind of have to just chase it, right?
So you're broke. You're unemployed every morning.
Yeah, that's what I
every
tell
single
people.
morning.
And unemployed unless you sell a house.
Absolutely. And if you gotta want it, and the more you want it, the more you'll go after it. So I absorbed everything. I was at every conference. I got mentors. I got coaches, because it was important for me to succeed. I had been successful in one job. I knew those skills that made me successful just transferred to real estate.
Because you were a six-figure executive, and you had to take your passion and be able to transfer that into becoming a six-figure entrepreneur. And that's not easy.
Yeah, but more importantly, you know, I had a very big budget. I had international responsibility for the PC business, right? But at the end of the day, if I didn't sell another laptop, if I didn't sell another PC, didn't really make a difference to anybody. When you give a key to somebody that's a first-time home buyer that they didn't think they would ever be able to buy a home, that's life-changing.
Yes.
And for them, that's generational changing, right? So for me, that was the thrill. It wasn't so much the money. I like the money, don't get me wrong. I like the money. But that thrill of being able to help someone who didn't think they would be able to get a house, and that I made a difference in that transaction, hey, that's worth it.
And I know some of your clients, and I've seen your Facebook posts. Your clients are delighted with your service. So when did you decide to go out on your own and really take the plunge, open an office, hire agents, and really take what you've learned? Because I know that you're like a master mentor. Like, you pour so much back into your agents for their success. So when did you make that leap from being a solopreneur, entrepreneur, to a true business owner?
Actually, the day I started.
Oh, okay.
The day I started, I knew I wanted to be the boss. The day I started, I knew I wanted to be my own broker. So it was, okay, what does it take? And so for the couple of years that you have to be an agent before you can take your broker, I was trying to get as much experience as I could. So my broker said, well, I think we should just do residential the first year. I'm like, okay, but I want to do commercial, and I want to do leases, and I want to do referrals, and I want to do relocation, and I want to do all of that. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to do multiple things, learn from a lot of great people who were just generous into pouring into me. And I can't stress that enough, because I started with a small brokerage, but people outside of my brokerage, people in this city and in this state helped me. So when I had a question, I reached out to another agent, or I reached out to another broker, and I said, help, I don't know how to do this. You know, I tell a story about the first time I had a commercial property, and it was a funeral home. And
how do you get excited about that?
So the lady calls and said, can you help me sell my funeral home? I'm a brand new agent. I said, oh, absolutely. It's Wednesday or Friday.
Just say yes.
Yeah, Wednesday or Friday, best for you.
I'm dying to list that.
And I went went to every commercial broker I know, like, help me, I don't know what I'm doing. What questions do you ask? And honestly, sometimes you have to borrow the competencies of others, right? And sometimes you pay for the competencies of others so that you learn and that you get that experience. And so people here were very generous, and I was able to go and get the listing and sell it probably within a couple of weeks, because just that, I called every funeral home in the area and said, hey, look, we're selling 1 or 2 funeral homes in Taylor, and here's the population, here's the growth, and people are just dying to get in.
That's a recession-proof business.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I love the fact that you picked up the phone and you made it happen. Like, you didn't just stick a sign in the yard, stick it in the MLS. It's like you're one of those agents. You just make it happen. It's like, you start calling who the prospective prospects are. And I think in real estate, I think that's critical. You can't just stick a sign and think they will come.
And you have to remember, you don't get paid till you sell something.
Right. And Lisa, you and I have had such a great opportunity to interview just countless really successful people. And that's one of the reasons I do the show. I'm a realtor, but I'm doing the show because it helps me. I'm sitting next to you, soaking all this in, and then next week I get to do it again with another rock star. But one of the trends that you begin to see when you talk with successful people is you hear those same kind of similar stories where they couldn't rest. They wanted to do more. They wanted to, and whatever it was, they get creative. They call all the other funeral homes. They find a different way to sell the business. They do all of these things.
Well, they're willing to take the extra steps. And I think that's what we're hearing from Renee right now. I think why more people are not more successful in the real estate industry is because they stick it in the computer, they stick a sign, and then they're going to count on someone else to do the work. And at the end of the day, you've got to do the work. If you do the work, you will be successful. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, and not only that, most agents know what to do. They're just not willing to do it.
Well,
boom.
Right?
Boom.
Most agents know how to be successful. I tell the story that says, if I held hostage your favorite child and said you have to sell 5 transactions in the next 30 days, you'd figure it out.
Yes.
All those things you said I wouldn't do, I won't door knock, I won't cold call, you would figure out how to make that happen.
Right.
So it's not like we don't know what to do. It's that we're not willing to do what it takes.
Right.
Well, one of the things that I'm so, I just admire you so much. One of the things that you're doing on January 4th, you're actually putting on an event for other agents. And these are your, if you've got a small thinking mentality, you would say, these are my competitors, like you, David. Like, I love how you're out and you're even interviewing the competition. But that's what you do. And that's where I made some great strides in the automotive industry. My biggest competitor became one of my best friends, potentially doing a television show with me. You never know. Anyways, that being said, that's how people with big thinking do it, right? And so tell everybody, because this is going to be played in Austin and Georgetown and Cedar Park, all of that. Tell everybody about your event on January 4th.
So it's an all-day, one-day conference. It's a productivity day. And I did it because we're such a small brand. We're a small boutique in a sea of really big players. And so it's one way to say thank you. So if you've done a transaction with us this year, it's a thank you. Your ticket is free. And you get to come as our way of saying we appreciate your professionalism and we want to pour back into you with great speakers and CE credits and food and door prizes and all of that. So I'm excited about that. And Miss Lisa is going to be our lunch speaker, so I can't wait for that as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Look, realtors, you owe it to yourself. If you're in this area, make sure that you're attending Renee's event. The time and date again?
This year, January 4th, at the Austin Board of Realtors, all day.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to speaking and pouring back into such a great community that's been so good to me and my business. Because I used to sell a lot of cars to realtors also. So anyways,
yeah, they're great prospects.
They're great prospects. Absolutely. They wear those cars out.
Yes, we do.
Thank you so much for coming in from Austin, Texas. She came to Georgetown to this fabulous establishment.
Great.
And just pouring back into the real estate community and just continue doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Renee. It was awesome to spend some time with you. And we're going to be right back in just a moment. We're going to talk to a new realtor. We've talked to Renee, the residential expert, right?
Yes.
With the proven record. But we've got an up-and-comer that you don't want to miss here in
And
just a
she
minute.
is a rock star. She's my former employee, Amber Barnett. So stay tuned.
We'll be right back. You're watching Under Contract Live. Thanks for tuning in to Under Contract Live. We'll see you next week in our brand new studio. #boom.
Thank you, my good.
Hey, welcome back to Under Contract Live. We're live here at the Mesquite Creek Outfitters. And what you haven't seen, and we'll get to show this here a little bit during the show. In fact, we'll probably put it on camera here in just a moment. But we're going to kind of feature the rest of the venue here because there's an amazing bar that we're sitting right across from. They feature craft beer. There's a big stone wall. They've got, as you can imagine in Austin, they've got cowboy hats, cowboy boots, all kinds of just cool stuff here. I guess that's why they call it Outfitters, right? Because they sell all their clothing as well.
This is like the coolest new place. A good friend of mine owns it, Cody Word. He's the co-owner of it. And Cody and I got to know each other during the hurricane relief. He's also a private jet broker, so that's pretty cool. And so we were flying missions in and out of the Georgetown airport down to the affected areas, to our fellow Texans down in Houston and Beaumont West. And so Cody and I got to I got to work alongside him, and what an amazing entrepreneurial spirit. But this place is located on the historic square in Georgetown, in downtown Georgetown. So if you're anywhere in Central Texas and you want an amazing dining experience, you want an authentic Texas experience, you want to come down to Georgetown to the square and visit Hat Creek Outfitters. Absolutely, this place is the best. I just said Hat Creek, but I meant to say Mesquite Creek. Excuse me. And my goodness, Hat Creek's a hamburger joint. This place is 10 times cooler. 10 times.
You see all the hats around, just kind of sneaks up on you. But hey, we are here with an up-and-coming rock star. We've got Amber Barnett with Keller Williams. And I'm going to let Lisa talk a little bit about it, but I do know that Amber used to work with Lisa at that #1 Fiat store in the world and was the #2 Fiat salesperson in the country. Amazing. I mean, I'm my history is in the car business, so like that's just huge. I mean, like I just met you, but you went right up to the just like #2 in the country. Okay, that takes something. So now you've kind of done something like I've done. Sorry, kind of transitioned into real estate. Maybe talk a little bit about when you started and what that's starting to look like.
Well, I left Fiat back in 2013, and I left to manage 3 of my parents' rentals in downtown Austin. So that was kind of my foot in the door for real estate. To be honest with you, I grew up around real estate. I mean, it's in my blood. My mom actually worked with Lisa.
My #1 competitor
was a mortgage broker with her. So I've always been around it, and sales has always been my passion. So after managing those properties, I thought, I want a little bit more. And I was actually going to put my own house on the market. And I thought, why am I going to pay some other agent 3% when I can sell this house myself? So I went out and I got my license. I listed
That's what all our customers are asking too.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I listed my home and I sold it, and then I got a little taste of that, and so I joined Keller Williams back in January, and I've been with them since, and it's great. It's fun. I love it. I love helping people. I love like what Renee was saying, giving them that key and helping them achieve their American dream and aiding in their financial freedom. So,
right. And, when I'm guessing, coming from that position of being a #2 Fiat salesperson in the country,
in the world,
really in the world and beyond, maybe the universe. But coming from that, I know that I can already figure out that when you went into real estate, you went full blast. Also, right?
Yes, absolutely. I have a 3-year-old daughter, so I'm balancing her and my still managing the properties. But yeah, I dream big, so I wrote out my goals, and I look at them every day, and that's how I'm trying to keep my success going. But yeah.
It's funny. We have a young agent in the Tampa Bay area, right down the street from me. Her name's Krista Landis. She tunes into the show, and she'll probably see this episode. But she's also a young mom. Her husband, another young man who worked for a builder, and she was in the general residential real estate. And when I was with the builder, I can remember her coming in with clients, you know, baby in hand, toddler in the other, showing up with the clients, working, and she just made it all happen. But talk about balancing it and all that. It was so super cool. And I love to see that drive. But maybe give some words of wisdom to brand new agents who are really trying to figure it out and trying to kind of figure out, hey, because I think oftentimes when, you know, Renee talked about the fact that realtors know what to do. We just might not know how quite to do it or not motivated enough to get out there and do it. Maybe there's some fear, which maybe you'll talk about, Lisa.
Yes.
But how do you kind of, you know, what would you say to new realtors that, you know, I put the Facebook post on and I did this and I did that, but I'm just kind of waiting and nothing's happening?
Well, one, you have to be confident in yourself and be passionate about what you're doing. But another thing is you have to make it your lifestyle. So it's not just a Facebook post. It's not just a sign in the yard. It's walking up, you know, to the grocery store and talking to the lady at the counter and telling her, I sell homes. It's just spreading it everywhere and always living it. And if you do that, then it's going to come to you.
Yeah, it's not like a clock in and I'll do this for a couple hours today.
You live and breathe real estate. I mean, you talk, you know, you're at the park with your kids, you're talking to the moms, you're at school dropping them off, you're talking to your bartender. I mean,
Well, but you know, I have to say something about Amber because you know, so much of the success in sales is authenticity. And when she was selling for me Fiats, I mean, she drove a Fiat. She was Miss Fiat. She drove Fiat. I mean, anywhere Amber went, she talked about Fiats. And that's, I think, when it was cool to talk about Fiats, like in 2012. Anyways, but that being said, I mean, you know, she comes from a real estate dynasty. She really does. Her mom, Lily Sosa, was absolutely the fiercest competitor I ever had in the mortgage industry. And she and I sat at the top of the largest mortgage banker in Texas. And it was Lily and I. And my only goal every month was to try to catch Lily. There were not many, I don't know that I ever beat Lily, but it was just to catch Lily. And so, funny story, when I met Amber when we opened up at the Domain in Austin, Texas, Amber walked in and I thought she was just adorable, and she was a server at a really cool little wine bar. And no, you were actually over all the events. Isn't that what you were doing?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought, oh my gosh, she's so cute. So we start talking, and I don't think you were totally sold on being a car salesperson.
No, I bought a car and got a job.
Yeah. That's how a lot of my people got jobs back then. But then you came back 2 days later and you said, do you know my mom, Lily Sosa? And I said, you're Lily's daughter? And she's like, yeah. And you were like, my mom said I have to come to work for you. And I knew that she came from great stock. And the thing I think that has made Amber so successful, and you'll be successful in anything you do, is the fact that she is authentic and she's dedicated and she's fierce. I mean, the word that comes to my brain when I think of Amber, it's fierce, but not fierce in a catty way. Fierce in a way that she's in it to win it. Like, it's no joke. If she puts her name on something, on listing your house or selling a house or selling a car, it's like she's going to be number one. And every month I would see her, like, watch the stats. Well, what do you mean I got beat this month for number one in the country? Like, because she didn't care about being number one at the dealership, because she always was. That was small potatoes for her. It was to be number one in the nation. So it's your big thinking, it's your global perspective, and that's what makes people great. And those, and that's what I would tell somebody out there who's getting into the real estate business. Don't think small. I mean, just like what Renee talked about, and the fact that this is global. You've got to think global, and you've got to think past just your community, and you've got to think about giving back to not only sell more yourself, but to build your industry, because you want your industry to be an industry that is of integrity and that's a strong industry, so that people want to hire realtors. Even if they don't hire you, you want it to be an industry of integrity, which I always thought for the car business. It's like, not all car dealers, wear plaid suits and smoke cigarettes and all that. And so I wanted to be the car dealer that wasn't. And I see that Renee and Amber both are building their industry, which in turn builds their business.
Yes.
And I totally believe that. It's just the nature of the universe. It's how the universe pays us back.
Yes. And Amber, you're very inspirational. And I know some other stories. I know that you used to be a TV star too. We'll talk about that probably on another episode. But the one thing I want to say before we kind of wrap up, a couple last minute things. But one of the things is that I'll ask you guys your professional opinion if you'd agree with me. But in the car business, we had cycles, where we saw business kind of slump and go up. And in the real estate business, it's really not that much different as far as that goes. But would you agree that right now we're in the heyday, right?
Yeah.
We're in the heyday of the business.
Right.
Business is booming in there's specific markets in the country, Austin being one of them, which is why I'm trying to focus here in Austin as well. You guys have great things going on in Austin, and we were kind of toying with the idea earlier, talking about how we could maybe have a bigger impact for realtors in Austin. So maybe there's a partnership here and maybe some upcoming larger events for Austin.
Yeah, we've talked about that. I go around the country and we put on these sold-out boot camps, primarily for the automotive industry. We have about 10 of them booked for next year. But, David and I, we go way back. How many years? Like 5, 6, 7 years. And I said, maybe we take these sold-out events and we bring on the Renees and the Ambers to be able to really encourage not only the automotive industry, but to add real estate into that, and then to add in the financial services business also. Because at the end of the day, just like Renee talked about, how did she get better? She went to conferences. And it isn't just one conference. You've got to be at every conference. I mean, I'm a conference speaker. I speak at probably 30 or 40 a year. And it's important, though. And I learn just as much when I go, because there's always somebody who inspires me. There's always somebody I go, oh, how could I have missed that all these years? And so we're kind of lining up a big lineup.
Yes.
Maybe famous people even.
Yes, we are. So we'll keep you posted on that. I'm going to obviously talk about that on upcoming episodes as we move forward and kind of nail down some of the details so that we can invite everyone out for those events. It'll be amazing. And then the last thing I wanted to also say is, once again, Lisa Copeland, Amber, thank you so much for being on. But can you give us your site again? Is it lisacopeland.com?
Yes.
And they can learn
lisacopeland.com.
more about you, and make sure that you're following Lisa and Amber. Amber, I'm sure you're on Facebook and social media.
Yes.
And Amber Barnett, and then of course
Renee Ward, but it's J. Renee Ward. And so you want to follow these ladies. They're absolutely inspirational, which is why I invited them to be here when you and I spoke. I mean, we put this together at the last minute. And
Yes.
just so everybody knows, it's ACL weekend in Austin, Texas. And it's a Saturday morning, and realtors are out showing property. And both of these busy ladies took time out of their crazy schedules to come down here to pour back into all of the viewers in the real estate community. And so thank you to you and to Renee, who's sitting on the other side of this table today.
Yes, and thanks to all involved. So honored. Thank you, Cody, the owner here at Mesquite Creek Outfitters in Georgetown, Texas. And thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Renee. J.Renee. and when we come back, you're going to see, I'm going to announce the Realtor of the Week, as well as you're going to get some footage of this particular amazing venue that we're in. Thanks for watching Contract Live.
Thank you, guys.